Welcome back to Google Cloud Next 26. We are live streaming here, right here in Las Vegas. I'm Alison Kosik alongside with John Furrier. Let's get to our guests right away. We've got so much to get to. On the set today, we've got Giovanni Carraro, the Senior Vice President of Alliances at Kyndryl. Welcome to theCUBE. And Hector Genaro Moran, the CIO of PiSA Farmacéutica. Welcome to you as well to theCUBE. I'm going to start with you, Hector, to kind of set the stage about PiSA, because for those who maybe don't know about your company, tell us who you are, what you do, and the role technology plays in your mission.
Yeah, well, you know, PiSA is one of the leaders in manufacturing distribution in pharmaceutical companies from Mexico and Latin America. So we have a very focus on producing very effective medicines in a low cost, and for markets that are in the North and Central America and Mexico. We also have one of the goods that we sell is hydration beverage, is electrolyte. We are working here in the States, and we also have presence in Canada and part of America Latina. And well, technology, that's my part. We are focused on the resilience of the company, of the business. We have to continue working. All the processes in manufacturing, in distribution, sales, are fundamental, working on SAP technology and other technologies that we have, SAP and non-SAP. But at the end, all the business is running on technology. So that's the reason, no? And my position is to keep this company running.
Yeah, keep the lights on. I mean, technology is the market. Technology is in everything. Giovanni, last time when you were on theCUBE, we talked about the AI being infused in everything. Talk about your relationship with Kyndryl and the partnership here. What are you guys working on, and what's been the big change?
Sure, obviously, I think you even mentioned it in the segment before. AI is moving in that kind of like phase of adoption. I think we are moving beyond the experimentation. We're graduating out of the experimentation. It's no longer a question of if or what to do, it's really how to deploy it and implement. Obviously, Kyndryl comes with a background on running mission critical system like we're doing it at PiSA, and for us the mission is how do we modernize, transform, starting obviously with their SAP system into a modern and agile environment like the Google Cloud to unlock the potential of all the data that years of manufacturing has created to create the kind of like outcomes that obviously they want to continue to drive towards.
Giovanni, from Kyndryl's perspective, what makes these transformations like PiSA so critical right now for enterprises in regulated industries?
Well, first of all, as I was saying, there is that wealth of information that has been trapped into this system of records, kind of like. I mean, historically, that's what technology was all about, was record keeping. Pharmaceutical, highly regulated industry, the ability to really provide data of information to regulator that the process has been done in compliance. Now these have to become system of insights. The ability to really extract the value the data has and drive better business outcomes. And so for us, it's critical to modernize the system and then also to help them in that way that we do of running the system, transforming and then running them again into the new era of AI.
We're at the Google Cloud event, so obviously I have to ask the Google question, but I'd like to see if you guys could also put a little twist on the answer. Google Cloud, what's their role in the transformation? And two, how has the AI changed? Are there things that you're doing now that might not have been on the table before, maybe a year ago or 2 years ago? Because now we're seeing so much more coding, integrations.
Absolutely.
Take us through the Google relationship and what's different now.
It's absolutely. We have new kind of reports, new kinds of requirements of the people of the business. The use of AI is something that is popping up in all the company, across all the different levels and markets and companies. So the requirements have changed in 360 grades completely in the change of the technology. So when you are still in on-premise infrastructure and you see all the capabilities that you have in Google and all of this, it's a quantum leap.
Is it a blessing or a curse? I've heard people say, I love this market so much, oh my God, we just figured this out, and then it changed.
Absolutely.
The change is so fast.
Change, I think, is absolutely probably the rule of the game, and you have to be fast, and that's the ability of creating agile environment that can be ready for the future and for what is about to come. Obviously, our partnership with Google is predicated on the idea that we bring the best of both areas. We're experts at running mission-critical system. We're really on that experience of both the legacy and running a modern hybrid kind of like environment. Google brings some of the technology and the leading edge kind of like solutions. And so the ability of co-innovate together with the client for what they're trying to accomplish and moving forward in that direction.
Giovanni, what's next in the relationship?
Well, obviously, today we started, obviously, and we made an announcement of how we're expanding our services with the distributed cloud services from Google. So obviously continuing to adopt some of the latest and greatest technology that Google brings forward and being able to provide that to our clients with the idea of saying, okay, the right workload in the right environment. So really try to kind of find that best match kind of like situation. And then obviously around AI with the agentic piece, I mean, part of our activity is really helping our client deploying and thinking about that just like they had to manage processes before, and now it's managing people, processes, and agents, and really transforming the business in that direction.
Yeah.
You know, we teased this out last time in the cloud era. During the cloud era, shadow IT was the big buzzword. Now that was IT. Go around IT, put the credit card down, get a proof of concept, show your boss, get promoted, put it in production, all good. AI, you have shadow AI everywhere. I heard a CFO saying, well, I got my own little dashboard I built on Claude. Like, and then Gemini's exploding in value. So shadow AI looks a lot the same, but different. How do you guys view that? Because this is kind of starting to be talked about a lot more now.
I think that it has to be the ability to react in the velocity that the people and the business need. So you can not be longer behind your desk trying to expect something to change and come to you. No, you have to be moving forward, you have to be proposing, and the shadow IT, the agents shadows IT surely is going to be one of the problems that we're going to be facing in the next months.
It's innovation, actually.
Yeah, it's innovation.
It's people engaging everywhere.
No, absolutely, and I think it's important to take kind of a governance to the next step and really understanding that the governance and the process around governance that were meant for individuals or like traditional technologies needs to be updated just as much. You can't really take the framework, the rules, and the approaches of the past. You really have to adapt them into the new world in order to take advantage of the full potential that these agents provide.
I'm curious, what advice would you give to other CIOs and CTOs considering a similar transformation that you're seeing overall?
Well, the transformation starts with, I will say the basis, move to the cloud. and what's one of the challenges that we have in the company, in PiSA. We're still running on on-premise infrastructure, so our main objective this fast with Kyndryl is, let's move to the cloud. Let's take advantage of all of that and make the cloud not just a single problem solver. It has to be an strategic. So for that, you can be constructing and improving all your abilities for that innovation and transformation. But sometimes we're a step behind, so we have to move faster.
Giovanni, what advice would you give?
Yeah, if I can build on what was just said, I mean, you have to have the right foundation. You have to kind of like cater with that approach of kind of like going strategically towards kind of like the outcome and keeping the outcome in mind all the time and constructively build it one on top of the other one. I mean, that's what the collaboration and the partnership that not just with PiSA, obviously with Google, Kyndryl and Google together kind of like to really drive kind of like that mission, recognizing that yes, might be interesting and intellectually also challenging to do the most modern models, but if you're not doing the right foundation, it goes back to the old garbage in, garbage out type of situation.
Exactly.
Giovanni, I want to ask you about transformation.
Yes.
We've heard that word. We're going through a transformation. I think this is now probably the most acute, radical transformation I've ever seen in my career. Jim Kavanaugh, an old friend of yours at IBM, when you used to work for him, came on theCUBE, he did a series. He believes that the C-suite, in this era of leading companies, being a leader, is more important than ever to be operational. with AI coming into the masses, into the company, it's not just IT anymore, it's IT is the engine, but then it goes everywhere. The C-suite's changing. What is your view on this?
What I would add, I would say that obviously transformation, it is kind of like the rule of the game, and I think that we're getting to a point where initially we started thinking about agents, for example, as an incremental improvement, so to speak, of what, okay, I can agentify the task, but it was tasks that existed before. Now we're venturing to a new space where it's a whole set of activities that we couldn't even consider. It's a whole set of business model. So it's not just incremental, it's that step function of type of kind of disruption. And that's why I think it will literally start from the top with the right kind of like framework, leadership, and understanding to really guide the enterprise or the organization, whatever kind of like a leader is in charge of, drive through that, as I said, transformation.
Yeah, I mean, leaders has to come from the C-suite, of course. But normally it's like, okay, take that hill. Here's a big goal. You have to be leaning into it. You have to get your hands dirty. You got to get in. That's what he's saying. I agree with him, by the way.
Absolutely. And more, I would say that it's such a moment that is so much in an evolution that it's not that there is a clear blueprint that's, okay, that's the path, and everybody just follow it through. No. You need somebody that helps you, guide you through, and is in the details in order to understand where do we tweak, where do we pivot.
This is new for everybody, isn't it?
For everybody.
I think that we will see a new generation of board persons, board members. It's a completely new mindset that they have to evolve. It's not just IT responsibility anymore.
Yeah.
It's the board responsibility, and it's a change of mind.
Hector, that's a really good point about the board makeup, because the old model, or even in the executive suite, I went to that school, I worked for that big tech company, I scaled this, I built that. Now it's like, what can you figure out? What can you imagine?
What have you shown me lately?
Absolutely. It's like a whole nother cultural kind of input. Can you work it together in the team?
Yeah,
have
exactly.
A partnership.
It's a partnership. It's something that is beyond IT or beyond the board. It's something that has to be in the ADN of the company and the culture. It's something that you have to assume as a new role for any member of the company.
It changes the definition of leadership.
Exactly.
That's what we're trying to find out. What's your definition of lead? How would you define the job spec for a leader these days? What would be on the bullet points?
Change.
Put you on the spot there. Okay.
Literally the champion of change. That's what I would say, and really try to, if I go back kind of to what the comment that Jim was saying in an interview, he started saying that his job when he started taking the CFO several years ago was more about the stability of the company.
The guardian of the books.
The guardian of the books, I think that's actually
he had a word like
that he was using. Now it's all about the change, the evolution, and really the champion of change.
You know, I heard someone talking the other day, maybe this is not public information, but smart executive teams are creating shadow companies and simulating what would be, how they would manage
I don't know if
simulation.
I mean, digital twin technology can probably allow you to do some of that. What I would say is that probably
shadow IT goes to shadow AI to shadow companies.
More than shadow, maybe it's really
CIA.
starting to figure it out. How do you bring agents and human and manage a mix, an hybrid company in that sense, that there's a combination of humans and agents.
All right, well guys, thanks so much for coming on theCUBE, appreciate it.
Great discussion, thanks so much.
Thank you very much for your time.
And you're watching theCUBE, the leader in live technology coverage. We will be right back, don't go anywhere.